it's time to figure out my May TBR. So if you've seen this video before, I play Plinko, I get prompts, and I pick a book for those prompts. I normally do 8 rolls or spins or what have you, drops a month, but since this is already a week into May and there's also a lot of books I want to finish on my TBR from previous months, I think I'm going to do 6 this month. But enough about that, let's see what prompts I get. Five. Author second chance. So this prompt means that I have to pick an author that I've previously read from and really disliked the book and give them a second chance, pick up a new book by them, and see if I like it. For author second chance, I'm going to be reading Sandman by Neil Gaiman. This is a comic book series from him that I've heard amazing things about and I haven't yet tried, but I've been absolutely loving reading comics lately. Like, it's all I've been doing, that and listening to My Favorite Murder podcast. That's it. That's been my life for the last month. So I feel like if I'm gonna give Neil Gaiman another shot, this is the way to do it. I know so many people love Neil Gaiman. I read American Gods last year and I hated it. It was my least favorite book that I read in the entirety of 2019. I couldn't stand it. I thought it was so freaking boring. So, you know, why not try him in a different medium and hopefully have better luck? I do have high hopes because I know like Lucifer is a spin-off of this and then they like had a bastardization version of that on TV that I love, so you know, maybe it'll be good. And the next prompt that's gonna go there is hyped. So this would just be any book that is very hyped on BookTube or in the real world or whatever. Hey, oh no, this is not the month that I wanted to have to add a book for. If you can't see that because my cat is in the way, it landed on the end side, which means I have to add a book to my TBR, so that means instead of 6 books this month, I have to read 7. Oh, Gizmo. Three. 30 before 30. So I have a video out that is a list of 30 books I want to read before I turn 30. I have very slowly been reading those books. I think I've literally read 3. So I'm going to have to pick a book from that list to read here, and yeah, a classic. Yay. For 30 before 30, I'm going to read This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So the only reason this came about was because I read a lot of quotes on Pinterest that I really liked by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and I really don't want to read The Great Gatsby, but I loved all those quotes so much I wanted to read something by him, so this is the one I came to. It's pretty short, should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it, kind of. This is just kind of another book about the 20s and the lost generation, and about a character who eventually falls in love with a woman who rejects him. I don't know, that's what the back says, it's very vague. And the prompt that I'll fill in for that is horror. This is a genre that I want to read more of, so I put it as a prompt. Three again. Horror. Alright. Like I said, I'm gonna have to read a book from the horror genre, which I'm pretty excited about. And then for horror, I'm going to read The Ritual by Adam Nevill. There's actually a movie adaptation of this on Netflix I almost watched and I've been wanting to watch, but I wanted to read the book first, so I'm gonna get to that this month. The Ritual is about a group of friends from university who go on this camping expedition together, and they end up taking some wrong turns and getting lost, and they happen upon some sort of old cabin in the woods that has evidence of some sort of old rite or sacrifice or some pagan ritual, and you know, shit goes down from there. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I love having more horror books in my life and trying out different horror authors, and hopefully this is a good one. Next prompt will be newest purchase. I have a huge haul of books coming up, so it would probably be something from there. Out of my comfort zone. Okay, so something that is out of my comfort zone would be something like fantasy or romance. Something, one of those two things, other than smutty romance, because that's up my alley, but regular romance, not so much. For out of my comfort zone, I'm going to read A Promise of Fire by Amanda Bouchet. This is a book I got from my Bookish Cupid back in February, and I haven't gotten a chance to pick it up yet, but this will be the first one of the 3 books she gifted me that I get to pick up. Now, this is a fantasy romance, I believe, and fantasy is definitely out of my comfort zone. I don't read a ton of fantasy. I think the only thing I have read is The Six of Crows duology, which I absolutely adored, but yeah, I just don't have a lot of experience in it. But I feel like this is the way to get me into it. So this has something to do with the traveling circus, which that alone makes me interested because I love like circus type things. I haven't read a lot or watched a lot of things, but like it's definitely one of those things that always piques my interest. I believe this is about a girl who is a soothsayer in that traveling circus, and this other guy who's a warlord who wants her as a weapon for his realm, but then he, you know, wants her in other ways. So I think this will be steamy, and I think I'll be into it, and I'm very excited. Oh no. And the next prompt to go there will be easy read. So something that's either short or just easy to fly through, an audiobook maybe. 5. So something hyped. This is honestly pretty good because I'm not great about picking up the books that are super hyped because I end up with too high of expectations for them. But this will make me read something that people actually talk about. For hyped book, I am going to hopefully be reading The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. All I wrote here is Songbirds, etc. by Suzanne. So obviously this is the prequel to The Hunger Games that is coming out this month. I pre-ordered it, but with the pandemic going on, I have no idea if it'll actually get here this month, but if it does, I will be reading that this month as well. It is obviously extremely hyped, even though none of us know if it's actually good yet. I have faith that it will be. What's anticipated? That one's pretty self-explanatory. 2. Easy read. I might pick up an audiobook for this, but I'm glad to have it, seeing as I have 7 books in the classic to read. For easy read, I'm going to be reading Greenglass House by Kate Milton, right? Milton or Milford? I should have looked this up. I am buddy reading this with Kaylee over at Dog-Eared Page, and we are currently actually buddy reading this. We already started. I'm only a couple chapters in though. This book is about an inn that is run by this family, and all of a sudden mysterious strangers start showing up, and that's about all I know of it so far. It's a middle grade though, so I believe it should be somewhat easy to read. Plus I'm listening to it right now on audiobook, which I'm loving because it feels like your parent is reading a book to you as a child. So yeah, you should definitely check out Kaylee's channel below. She makes absolutely great content, and she loves to read all sorts of different genres as well as new releases and backlist titles, and I love that in a booktuber, so if you like that too, definitely check her out below. Next one will be booktube recommendation. So anything I've seen a booktuber recommend, which honestly is pretty much everything on my shelf at this point. Mood read. I like that. So before I joined booktube, I was mostly a mood reader, so this is very much appreciated. Thank God for that. For mood read, I'm going to be reading A Harvest of Sighs by Simone. This is a smutty book that is the 3rd in its series, the Thornchapel series. This seems to be pretty widely talked about on booktube, but I know a lot of people love the first book but hated the second. I actually happen to love both books a lot. The first 2 books were mostly about the trio of like Poe, Auden, and Saint Sebastian, whereas this 3rd book I believe is about Delphine and Rebecca, and I love that. I'm so excited that it's not just about the main 3 because even though I love them, I wanted to explore more of the group, and I'm really hoping the last book is about Beckett because like I love him. So I'm very, very excited for this. I have high expectations, but I expect them to be met because the second one did not let me down. So those are the books I'll be reading this month. I have no idea if I'll get around to more than that. Hopefully I will. I want to finish up some of the books that I've left off from previous months. I am currently finishing up Priest by Simone, and I would like to get done with 4321 by Courtney Stevens, I think, as well as there was another audiobook I was listening to, Two Parts of a Body, I think. So hopefully I will finish up some things as well as get all these books done. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back again soon. Bye.